Good morning, Prowler Nation. It's Pastor Joel. Once again, this is episode 27 of our devotion to encourage you as an athlete, especially now in the off season. My wife Jo and I were on the phone with our son this morning who was talking about him getting up early, going ahead and getting to the gym, getting it done, which sort of inspired what I was going to talk about today. And today's message is the myth of the shortcut. I think all of us have been there as athletes. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's in the dead of the off season. Your muscles are aching. The gym is cold. And the season seems like it's a lifetime away. That's when the whispers begin. I can skip this set. I can coast through these sprints. Nobody's watching anyway. In sports, we call this cutting corners. In life, it's called a lack of integrity. But in the kingdom, we recognize it as a misunderstanding of how growth actually works. Because success isn't owned, it is leased, and the rent is due every single day. Let me give you 3 biblical truths to help us to remember when we are tempted to take the easy way out. Number 1, character is built in the secret places. Because the off season is the secret place of sports. No fans, no lights, no box scores. However, I think God, especially for an athlete that's a believer in Christ, is deeply interested in what you do when the stands are empty. The Bible teaches us in Luke chapter 16, verse 10, one who is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. And one who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much. If you shortcut the drill because you think it doesn't matter, you're training your brain to shortcut under pressure tomorrow. Faithfulness in the small, grueling details of the off-season is what earns you the right to be faithful in much when the championship is on the line. You don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your training. Secondly, you reap exactly what you sow. There is both a biological and spiritual law that no athlete can outrun. It's called the law of the harvest. You cannot plant seeds of good enough and expect to harvest greatness. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7 teaches us this. It says, "Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that he will also reap." Shortcutting your training is essentially to mock the process. You're trying to get the result without the investment. And if you sow half-hearted reps, you will reap a harvest of fatigue and failure when the fourth quarter rolls around. The off-season isn't a delay. It's the time to plant. Respect the process because the harvest never lies. Third and finally, discipline is the path to joy. You know, we often view discipline as a punishment, but the Bible views it as the ultimate preparation. This pain of hard workouts is temporary, but the regret of a shortcut in game time lasts a lifetime. The Bible teaches us in Hebrews 12 and 11, "For the moment all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it." Again, the verse talks about discipline for those who are trained by it. And when you refuse the shortcut, you aren't just building muscle, you're building a spirit that can endure hardship. I know because being a former athlete, there is no greater feeling than standing on the field knowing that you owe no man and no shortcut for your readiness. So today, consider these points. Consider these principles in your life. Discipline is the path of joy. You reap exactly what you sow. Character is built in the secret places. Hey, God bless you guys. Thank you for taking about 5 minutes out of your day to be encouraged. And it's my joy to be able to do that. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.